Live now to Tel Aviv, and Miri, she's a senior fellow of the International Institute for Counterterrorism and retired from the Israel Defense Forces. Good to see you again. I'm happy to be talking to you on a day when more hostages have been released. You were watching along. Your emotions as you see these first those two, and then the one single hostage released today.
Just when you're asking me, I'm getting goosebumps again. My reaction today is very mixed, Kim, because Yarden Bibas came out and his wife, Shiri, the ginger-haired woman that we've seen so often with the two ginger-haired, red-headed kids, she has not yet been heard of. Her two children not yet heard of, and Yarden is back. And in the psychological terrorism that Hamas did, in addition to everything else, they released months ago a video where they informed Yarden in captivity that his wife and children had been killed. So just to see Yarden come back and not to see Shiri and Kfir and Ariel, wow, that's like a real tough one. And then I saw Siegel. And Kim, Keith is more or less my age, very similar type of backgrounds. My parents immigrated to Israel. He immigrated himself. So, you know, that mixed U.S.-Israeli background. He was snatched from his home with his kids, and his kids were released when they released some of the children over a year ago. But just think about that. He's been in captivity for so long. His daughters have been waiting for him to come back, and now he's back. So I'm so happy for all of them. And it's so hard just to understand the ones that are still left there and everything that's gone on in these last 485 days.
Yeah, absolutely. We were just seeing pictures of Keith being released there. Those scenes that we were seeing today, very different from what we saw on Thursday. Those chaotic scenes where you could imagine that the hostages' safety was in danger as they were surrounded by so many people there. Did that retribution by Israel work in terms of the warnings that, well, first they delayed releasing some prisoners, and then the warnings that unless they saw a different handover, they wouldn't open the Rafah border crossing? Do you think that worked?
Just think of the difference, Kim, between the way that we're talking about Israelis and non-Israelis. A few days ago, the Thais, who were Thai workers working in Israel and were taken in the exact same terror attack, were held in the exact same tunnels. And amazingly enough, Hamas didn't stage their release, because what they want to do is they want to continue to terrorize us. They want to continue to show as if their own strength, and all they're showing is the horrific thing they are. When they did that staging of a few days ago, what they were doing is showing their lack of control, not their control. They were showing how much they are just a brutal terror force and not the resistance out there to help any Palestinians. In the actions that they've done over the last 15, almost 16 months, oh my God, it's just worse in the world for every single human being. Certainly Palestinians, for Israelis, the only ones who feel that they've won are Hamas. And so those chaotic pictures show that, first of all, they can control the little bit of crowd when they want to. And on the other hand, all they are really brutal terrorists. I say that as an Israeli. It's clear cut to me that everybody loses in this war. There's nothing happy right now, and we want to get to the end of it. But the end of it is when brutal terrorists are not the ones who stage releases of hostages.
All right, well, let's hope that this can certainly lead to a longer lasting peace. But certainly happy scenes today as we saw those three hostages released. Miri, thank you so much for being here with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. I want to thank you.